Welcome in. I spoke at both my mom's celebration of life, March of 23, and then I spoke the eulogy at my husband's in March of 24. And we are coming up to the 2-year anniversary. And I started to do this. In fact, I turned my little system on and found out that I had actually recorded one last year. And this time, this is it. Like, I really, really, really feel like this urge, this desire, this need to get out there. The second year is much, much, much harder. Obviously, as time progresses, grief will ease, is what they say, or you just get used to holding on to the grief that's in your body. And I would say that the first year was about this cobweb brain. It was like a memory, a thought would pop into my brain. And then I would just need to go down that rabbit hole. Sometimes the rabbit hole was good. Sometimes the rabbit hole sent me into a bit of a spiral. But you're in reaction mode. You're in, I have to make this decision. I have to do it this way. I have to divert. I have to go this way. I have to make a left. I have to make a right. I have to go straight. I have to put a pause on. I am a now solo mom of 3 kids and a son-in-law. We had a lot of diverting things that happened in that first year. And so you're just constantly reacting to what's in front of you and how to make the best decision with the information you have and how to go forward with that. The second year for me was a hiding year. I kind of hid back. I pulled back from a lot of things. I was very careful, and I still am very careful about where I put myself and what kind of space I put myself in, whether it's in friendships. It's not that I've pulled away from friendships. It's that some friendships came because it was a friendship that also involved our husbands. And that's a very hard place for me to be. And it was a very hard place for me to be over the last couple of years. Because it was a very raw in my world, in my space, that's not what I had anymore. And it would just create a constant need for me to either how I was going to react, how I was going to respond to it. That space that I've created in our garage has saved me countless of times. The people in there, the amount of the people that come in there that didn't know Mark, that obviously won't ever know Mark, is astronomical to me. Somewhere in the midst of the year, the second year, I got asked why I identify as a widow. And that caught me off guard. Because it's okay for you to identify it as you're married, you're single, you're divorced. Like, the things that you end up doing, if you're married, you end up around married people. You just do. When you're single, you end up around single people. It's not that is a complete 100% only way. That is not the thing. This is not at all what I thought I was going to talk about when I got on here. Not the first episode. But processing being a widow, that second year, it's a constant reminder that what you thought you had for the first part of your life is not what you're going to have the second part of your life. I didn't plan to start a podcast, especially not as a widow. And I move so different I breathe different. The way I think about strength, the way I think about life, it's so different now. It's so different. I looked at a picture of myself a couple of weeks ago. It was literally like looking at a different person. And I felt like I was looking at a completely different person, like not me. And that's bizarre to me. That the 2024 me, the 2025 me, and the 2026 me, if they went into a room, they wouldn't know each other. Like, it's so interesting to me the way that I have responded and grown. I didn't know I could cry as much as I cry. I didn't know I could hurt as much as I hurt. I didn't know how much I took for granted. I didn't know how quick life could change. I didn't know how much this would hurt. In a million years, I would never have. Because you don't realize how intertwined you are with that person until they're really actually gone. This wasn't a slow ebbing release. It was an instantaneous gone. So as I've grown over the last couple of years, there are times where I just want to curl up in a ball. I don't want to think about anything else. I don't want to worry about how my future is going to look. I don't want to worry about growing old alone. I don't want to worry about anything. Because what I do know from a very, very stark reality is that tomorrow is not guaranteed. And so for as much as I get sad and I grieve and I want to scream, I absolutely have to choose to be happy. I choose joy in and around me. I laugh. I can come out of a laugh straight into a cry and cry straight into a laugh. But it feels heavy. My heart feels heavy on some days lighter. But I'm choosing to stay in my moments. I'm choosing to continue to move my way forward. I am choosing to figure it all out. There is no other way. That's not how this goes. You wouldn't want that. I can hear him in my head going, "You got this. You got this, babe." And how proud he would be of me and the kids. I'm a Pilates instructor. I didn't go into all of that. And I'll probably turn this one off here in a minute. Make it short and sweet in the beginning. I don't know about sweet. So I'll do a quick little synopsis of who I am, since probably you have no idea. But I'm Michelle Williamson. I'm a Pilates instructor. I'm a mom, a wife, that has a husband in the ground and in heaven. I have 2 dogs, 2 cats. I was active duty myself. I've been teaching and training for well over 3 decades, going into 4 decades at this point. I started teaching when I was 17, and I'll be 55 in May. I've been watching people move and talking about movement for more than half of my life. I have a degree in exercise science back in the day when they didn't know what to call it, corporate industrial fitness. And I am now a widow, trying to learn how to put my feet forward, creating a space where people realize that movement's just not about movement. The things that have absolutely helped me these last couple of years is, 1, family, friends, God. But movement. On my reformer, in Pilates, in strength, moving big, huge, heavy things around. And then golf. I found golf back in, weirdly enough, in April of 2024. I had been already pre-assigned before Mark ever passed. I had an assignment to an April PGA Hope program, which is the veterans reach out of the PGA. It's a phenomenal program. And here in Nebraska, what they do is they offer a 6-week, 90-minute lesson clinic for free for vets. It's once a week. And then once you go through the program, then you're in what they call the PGA Hope grads. And then you can do all sorts of things with them. So many things I've gotten involved in and involved with the PGA program, or in tournaments, and I was always just kind of hacking around at it. Mark didn't really like it. I had signed up for the PGA Hope program in November before he passed, thinking that I wanted to just start back into something that I actually felt like I liked. Whether he liked it or not, I just was looking at where we were headed into empty nest land, and I just wanted to have a hobby of my own. Because anytime I'm in a movement space, I'm always in teaching mode. Mark passed March 26th, 24. "15 days from now. 2 weeks. So freaking hard. Wow. It's so hard. It is so hard to process all of this and figure out my steps forward. So, signed up for the PGA Hope program mainly because it was something for me, but then in a God, clearly divine kind of moment, my program was on the night I wanted and the session I wanted. So I got the first session, which started in April, which meant it was 6 weeks after Mark passed. And I got to go out for 6 weeks of a clinic to start into something that, little did I know, that it would then just take me on a new journey. It's an amazing journey. I have joined a league. I've been a part of so many tournaments. I've met amazing people along the way. I've hit some really crappy golf swings, and I've hit some pretty freaking glorious ones. But hopefully, if you're into learning a little bit about fitness, learning a little bit about Pilates, learning a little bit about strength, and maybe all of that combined, maybe some golf stories. It'll be my voice, hopefully, that you don't mind hearing. And I just feel compelled to open this space up. Talk about my journey, and maybe my journey will help somebody else's journey. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of everything, but in the long run, it's going to be about movement. Because if you haven't figured out you need to move today, you need to move. Movement's good. Okay. And in that, find your people, hug them, love them, tell them that you love them. Take the pictures, take the trips, and make the memories. That's what lasts. Cheers.